David and I have been married for 8 wonderful years, and together we have a spirited 4-year-old son named Tom. Is a playful child with a vivid imagination, and he's always been especially close to me, which I cherish deeply. My husband and I have found a great rhythm in our lives, balancing careers, home responsibilities, and raising Tom. Our relationship has been strong, largely because I believe David was both respectful and communicative. However, there's an ongoing issue with David's sister, Kathy, that I need to address. From the very beginning, Kathy and I had a strained relationship. David had warned me that his sister would be tough to win over, as she was very protective of him. He was right. When I first met Kathy, she was immediately cold and distant. She grilled me with questions about my family, my childhood, and even my siblings. Despite my efforts to answer her questions honestly, she seemed unimpressed and frequently compared me to David's exes during our conversation. David arranged for a final confrontation between Kathy, his parents, and himself. During this meeting, Kathy broke down and admitted she needed help. She revealed that she had been unemployed for months and that her mental health had deteriorated. With David's parents' support, Kathy was admitted to a psychiatric facility for treatment. David reiterated his decision to cut ties with her, which Kathy reluctantly accepted. She sent me a half-hearted apology, and although it seemed insincere, I hoped she would find healing. When David and I eventually got married, we chose not to invite Kathy to the wedding, even though she had been discharged from the psychiatric facility and appeared to be doing better. Our decision was respected, and Kathy sent flowers to congratulate us. Shortly after our honeymoon, Kathy announced her own marriage. We were surprised, as we hadn't heard she was dating anyone. It turned out that Kathy was marrying James, a man she had met while in the psychiatric facility. James had serious mental health issues, including schizophrenia and alcohol dependency. We were concerned when Kathy announced her wedding plans and insisted that only David be there, not me. David was offended by this and chose not to attend. Those who did attend reported that the wedding was a disaster. James was heavily intoxicated and acted out violently during the ceremony, causing distress among the guests. James's behavior was alarming, and we worried for Kathy's safety. Despite warnings from David and his parents, Kathy remained adamant that James was the one for her. Over time, James became increasingly controlling and abusive. David and his parents tried to maintain contact with Kathy, but James cut her off from everyone. We heard reports of police being called to their home due to domestic disturbances, but Kathy refused to seek help or leave James. 4 years ago, I was pregnant with Tom, and despite our past issues, I invited Kathy to my baby shower. She didn't respond, and when David went to check on her, he discovered that James had isolated her from us. This confirmed our decision to cut off contact with her. Then, 8 months ago, Kathy appeared on our doorstep, disheveled and in distress. She revealed that she had miscarried and was in a state of shock. We offered her support and contacted her parents, who were relieved to help her. James was arrested and committed to a psychiatric facility for his abusive behavior and the poisoning that caused the miscarriage. As Kathy began to recover, she re-entered our lives. And while we hoped for a positive change, her behavior soon became unsettling. She began showing up at our home frequently, unannounced, and involving herself in Tom's life in ways that felt intrusive. Kathy would bring gifts for Tom and comment on his appearance and routines, which started to feel like she was trying to undermine my role as his mother. I discussed my concerns with David, who suggested I might be overreacting due to Kathy's recent trauma. To address my worries, I decided to install nanny cams to monitor Kathy's interactions with Tom. What I discovered on the footage raised new concerns and made me question Kathy's intentions even further. We've always been diligent about providing age-appropriate books for our son Tom. His room is stocked with colorful, engaging stories that suit his developmental stage. But on one particular afternoon, Kathy brought a book that was unsettlingly different. It was a story about adoption, detailing how a mother might give up her child to another family for various reasons. As Kathy read the book to Tom before his nap time, I listened in with increasing alarm. The narrative itself was troubling enough, but Kathy's additions were even more disturbing. She started weaving in her own commentary, suggesting that her departure from Tom's life years ago was akin to the story's mother leaving her child. Her intention was clear: to plant the idea that she was Tom's real mother and that she had left him behind because she wasn't ready at that time. My heart sank as I heard her whisper that no matter what happened, she would always be his real mother and that no one could love him more than she could. Kathy kissed Tom on the forehead and left him to nap, while my hand trembled with rage. The realization that Kathy had been feeding Tom these twisted ideas for who knows how long hit me hard. It was no wonder Tom had been behaving strangely around me lately. My poor child must have been feeling confused and unsure about his place in our family. I was ready to confront David immediately and demand that Kathy never be allowed in our home again, but something held me back. Instead, I decided to take the day off to spend quality time with Tom and uncover the extent of Kathy's influence. I told Kathy that she didn't need to babysit and that I wanted the day alone with my son. She was visibly upset and insisted on her love for spending time with Tom, but I stood firm. David asked if everything was all right, and I reassured him that I simply needed a break. I took Tom to his favorite park, where we played and had pizza, enjoying a day of fun and laughter. Once we were settled and Tom felt safe, I gently broached the topic of his interactions with Kathy. Tom's demeanor shifted, and he grew quiet. I promised him that he wasn't in trouble and that he could talk to me about anything. That's when he revealed the truth. I drove home quickly, packed our bags, and informed my parents that we were coming over for a while. I told them that I missed them and wanted to spend time with them, which was true, but it also served as a cover for my sudden departure. My parents, ever supportive, welcomed us without hesitation. David called me when he returned home to an empty house. I tried to sound as normal as possible, telling him I needed a break and would stay with my parents for a few days. He sounded suspicious but didn't press too hard, likely due to the rarity of our conflicts. As I wrote this, I felt conflicted and uncertain about the next steps. How should I confront this situation and ensure that my son and I remain distanced from David's sister? Update 1. Wow, I woke up to over 600 comments on my post. I'm amazed by the response and the support. I used fake names to protect David and his family's identity, hoping no one would realize it was about them. For those questioning why I didn't talk to David first, let me clarify. Tom's revelation about David knowing and not telling me was a critical factor. It became clear that a confrontation with David would not have led to any constructive outcome. My maternal instincts told me to remove Tom from this toxic environment immediately. With my parents' support, Tom is now safe, away from Kathy's influence. Kathy has attempted to contact me several times, sending messages expressing her desire to see Tom and how much she misses him. I plan to address this issue directly at the upcoming family gathering at David's parents' place. This event was already planned to celebrate David's grandparents' visit, and I see it as an opportunity to speak my truth and ensure Kathy is kept away from Tom permanently. Update 2. I confronted David during the family gathering, as planned. I was extremely nervous, but I brought the nanny cam footage with me to provide irrefutable evidence. During lunch, I called Kathy out in front of everyone. She appeared shocked and tried to downplay the situation, but the footage told a different story. I played the video showing Kathy's manipulative comments to Tom, which left everyone horrified. David looked guilty but tried to justify his actions, claiming he thought this would help Kathy cope with her grief. He was torn between supporting his sister and confronting the issue with me. I told him that because of his failure to protect our son, I no longer trusted him and couldn't allow Tom to be around him or his family. David broke down in tears, but my decision was final. David's family apologized and assured me that Kathy would be kept away from Tom. Kathy, humiliated, didn't even apologize. I left the gathering with a sense of closure, knowing I had taken a stand for my son's well-being. Despite our previously strong relationship, this situation has shown me that David cannot be trusted to put Tom's needs first. I understand that many of you might think I should give him another chance, but the damage done is too significant. Kathy's behavior was unacceptable, and David's lack of action to address it has made it clear that I need to protect Tom from this dysfunctional family dynamic. I am confident that I can secure full custody of Tom, especially if I reveal the family's history during the custody battle. From now on, my priority is to ensure Tom's safety and well-being, no matter the cost. Update 4. The past few days have been a whirlwind. I've been focusing on settling in with my parents and ensuring that Tom feels secure and loved. He's adjusting well to the change of environment and seems more relaxed, which is a huge relief. My parents have been incredibly supportive and are helping me figure out the next steps. In the meantime, I've consulted with a family lawyer to discuss the custody situation. The lawyer was appalled by the evidence I provided and is confident we can build a strong case against David and Kathy's influence. We're preparing to gather more documentation and testimonies to support our case. David has continued to reach out, trying to understand what went wrong. He's been sending messages, expressing remorse and asking for a chance to talk. I haven't responded to any of his communications yet. I need time to process everything and focus on Tom's well-being. I'm also trying to avoid any further emotional strain until I'm fully ready to handle it. Kathy has continued her attempts to contact me, but I've blocked her number and ignored her messages. She started reaching out to mutual friends and even some of Tom's old playmates, trying to gather information about us. I'm concerned that she might try to involve others in her efforts to reconnect with Tom, so I'm being extra cautious and informing my close friends and family to be on alert. Update 5. Today, I received a response from David's parents. They've expressed their deep disappointment in Kathy's actions and have assured me they are taking measures to ensure she stays away from Tom. They've also offered their support in any legal proceedings that might arise, acknowledging the severity of the situation. It's a small comfort to know that they're on our side, but it doesn't change the fact that David's actions have fundamentally damaged our trust. I've also been in contact with the school to make them aware of the situation. They've been very understanding and are willing to provide any additional support Tom might need during this time. It's crucial for Tom to have a stable environment at school, and I'm grateful for their proactive stance. I'm planning to meet with David soon to discuss the divorce proceedings and the custody arrangement. I'm hoping this meeting will provide clarity on the way forward and allow us to address any remaining issues amicably. I'll be accompanied by my lawyer to ensure everything is handled professionally. Update 6. I wanted to share a quick update on the legal front. We've filed for divorce and are officially starting the custody battle. The evidence we have against Kathy's behavior, coupled with David's failure to act, is compelling. My lawyer is confident that the court will recognize the need for me to have full custody to ensure Tom's safety and well-being. David has agreed to mediation, which might help us reach a resolution without a prolonged court battle. I'm open to this if it means we can settle things more amicably and minimize the emotional toll on Tom. The priority remains his stability and happiness. Tom continues to thrive in the supportive environment at my parents' home. He's been spending time with his grandparents and engaging in activities that bring him joy. I'm focusing on maintaining his routine and providing him with the love and reassurance he needs. Thank you all for your support and kind words. It's been an incredibly challenging time, but knowing that there are people out there who understand and support our situation makes a significant difference. I'll continue to keep you updated as things progress.